So, could we even be seeing a bigger baddie than even Sauron in the upcoming Lord of the Rings series? According to an image, it's a slight possibility that we might get to see this. Now, for those who are just familiar with the movies, you probably think Sauron is the biggest villain of the Lord of the Rings world. And he is to a certain extent. He's almost like the devil-like figure that's, been whispering in the ears of kings for years and years, bringing about evil and bringing about their greed and so forth. He plays the devil in a lot of ways. But there was actually one that made him fall from grace, and that was Morgoth. Now, Morgoth is a Valar. He is even more powerful than Sauron himself. But thanks to the combined efforts of the Valar, he was basically defeated in the First Age. So this taking place in the Second Age, it seems pretty rare if they would go that route in making him the ultimate villain and kind of pushing Sauron to the side. I don't know if they would. That would be a great way of kind of bringing in a lot of book readers, but I don't know if it would work so well for a general audience who is more familiar with Sauron in itself. I think it would be fun, but let's just go ahead and read what this article here on Screen Rant goes on to say about it, and you can decide for yourself what you think. It goes on to state the picture reveals, or it says right here, the very first image taken from the show, however, strongly suggests otherwise. The picture reveals the two trees of Valinor, Telperion and Lorelin. These divine creations were revered for their light and beauty and existed prior to Tolkien's First Age, before being destroyed by, you guessed it, Melkor. It goes on to say the Amazon's Lord of the Rings series included the two trees of Valinor and has shown them in its maiden promo image, no less. Heavily implies that viewers will witness how these trees were poisoned. This surely means a Melkor appearance is inevitable, perhaps alongside his spider-like partner in crime, Ungoliant. Even if Amazon's Valinor scenes were only serve as part of a flashback sequence scalloping throughout the biggest events in Middle-earth history, Melkor is almost certain to feature an unexpected treat few would have hoped for when Amazon's Second Age project was first announced. Any appearance from Melkor Morgoth in a live-action setting is a huge deal. For a start, he's responsible for triggering the darkness still present during the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Not only does Melkor indoctrinate and corrupt Sauron, but he also turns a perfect and idyllic Middle-earth into the world of monsters and shadows seen in Lord of the Rings. Whether it be the Balrog, Shelob, Sauron, or even the feud between elves and dwarves, virtually every bad thing in Middle-earth can be directly or indirectly traced back to Melkor, cementing the villain as one of Tolkien's most pivotal creations. Now, like I said, I don't think that they would go so far to replace Sauron. So I'm going to say, if they do this, it's going to be a flashback. Now, is this going to be a flashback at like the very first scene of the series, or is this going to be? Is there going to be some kind of plot that's going to revolve around, Ungoliant and Melkor? That's going to take place during the series, a big plot, or will maybe we see some form of Morgoth in this series? That's not just a flashback. That's yet to be seen. If I had to guess, I would say definitely it's going to be a flashback. It's going to be a lot kind of like what they did, in the flashbacks in Game of Thrones. I still think that'd be cool. I think that'd be worth it. It would still be worth watching just for that alone. Now, for those of y'all who've watched, Answer Us, y'all probably know I'm not a huge fan of this upcoming series. I felt like they've been really disrespectful to the author of the Lord of the Rings. I felt like Tolkien, they were kind of doing like a Harry Potter thing. They wanted Tolkien's name on it, just like they, the way they do with Harry Potter's author. They want the name, but they don't want the baggage that goes along with it. So they were basically going to, create their own little story. They were going to add a bunch of sex scenes, and of course, anybody who knows Tolkien or knows anything about Tolkien knows that he was a devout Catholic who precisely didn't want that stuff in his books, and probably would not be in favor of this happening in his in any series based off of his work. Now, I don't like that personally. I don't care about if there's sex scenes in any kind of series or movies. It doesn't matter to me. But I do feel like an author should be held to a certain bit of respect. If it's not something he would have wanted, even though he's long dead, I feel like that's something that should be taken in consideration. A certain respect for him, at least, should be taken in consideration. Don't just use his work, the name, to attract fans, but then not show respect to the man who brought it into fruition. That is my take on that. And that will always be my take when it comes to this series or anything that happens in Lord of the Rings in the future. That said, I am kind of interested in this. This is basically the only good news that I've heard from this upcoming Amazon series. But we will have to see. Let me know what y'all think. Would y'all be excited about Melkor maybe making an appearance in this series? Do you think it should just all be about Sauron? Let me know what y'all think down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching.